And the main studio is just over there, where the anchor is basically going through a number of news stories. But because we're doing a 24-hour news cycle, oftentimes we have to jump in with stories as they're evolving. We actually don't have time to get things sent to us from on the ground. So what we do is basically build a story from what videos we can get. So you know, if you watch a regular newscast, you'll see a story that has like a beginning, a middle, and an end, and that's all nicely packaged. We kind of do it on the fly here because, you know, people still want their information, they still want the story. So we try to tell a story almost unpackaged as it's happening on air. And so how many of you have had access to an iPad or played around with an iPad? Can I show of hands? Okay, so this is much like a really big iPad. So instead of opening up an app, what we do is open up files. And I'll do this. And so what we do with this computer over here is that we drag on from the internet pictures and videos and clips and maps. And that computer and this monitor essentially share one memory. So everything we put on the computer, we can call up here. So kind of like where on your iPad you pull up an app. Here we don't pull up an app, we pull up information that we would have loaded onto a similar hard drive. So, for example, one of the stories that we're doing right now, there's a big earthquake in Ecuador this weekend. So we're telling you a bit of the story in Ecuador. And we know that, so we'll put up that map of Ecuador, a bit of the search biz, there was a fire that happened, the president visited the site. So we have all these different elements. And so these elements exist here, and then we connect them all up with little arrows. And through that we can tell our story. So the earthquake happened, it measured 7.8 in magnitude. It happened in the country of Ecuador, in the South American continent. And as it zooms in, I can show you that the epicenter of the earthquake was right here. This is the province of Esmeralda. Now that was the first element I pulled up. I connected it to this next element as I continued to tell you the story. And then last night, the Ecuadorian president visited the rubble. They've already noted there were a number of people who passed away, a number of people who were injured. I can pass it over to the next video. This morning, they've sent out construction crews as well as the military to look for survivors out of the earthquake. And then I can continue it, and as they were searching, a fire broke out in one of the buildings. So basically what I'm telling you guys is a story of what's happening on the ground. Again, if you watch a newscast, you'll see a story that's nicely packaged. What we do here is we package it on the fly so we can tell you a story and help you understand what's happening, not only in Ecuador, but whatever other story that we're assigned. That make sense?
Wow, yeah.
It looked like you zoomed into the stage.
I did, just as moving it around. So basically you guys are from, where's Oakville? There's Oakville, and right now you're here in Toronto. So have you guys take the train? Did you drive?
We drove.
So, okay. Well, so some of you took the train, which would have been the GO train, which brought you all the way this way. And then some of you drove, which meant that you had to actually go up to TVW and go across that way. Either way, you're in the same place. But that's how we can also, what we call telestrate, which is basically illustrating on a television screen of what is actually happening.